Teachers. Some students think they're robots that never leave the building. Many of us think they don't have a life or an opinion about anything, but they do. Have you ever wondered what they thought about schooling? Do they like Jefferson? Maybe even if they wanted to be a teacher when they were kids. Well, here's our chance to discover what these instructors really think about teaching.
I was a very bad student, starting around 3rd grade all the way to my junior year in high school. I had lots of C's, lots of D's, and lots of F's, but I knew when I was a junior I could sign up for radio production class, and I took it and I loved it. I did really great at it, and all of my grades went from those C's, D's, and F's up to A's and B's.
I like educating because I think it's so fun to be around kids. I love the energy that they have, and me, I'm super energetic as well. So we feed off each other very well.
The reason I guess I started teaching was because when I was in school, I was not necessarily the best of student, and I always had teachers that encouraged me to do better and to do my best. So I think I'm sort of paying it forward, and that's why I really chose to teach.
When I was a child, in 4th grade, I used to line up every teddy bear I've ever owned, all of my dolls, all of my Barbies, and teach them how to write. I was one of those kids that knew that I could do something, and I really liked my teachers and my elementary teachers. Then when I got to college and I realized that teachers don't always make a lot of money, I thought I will be an accountant. After 1 year of taking accountant classes, I realized that education was definitely the better choice for me.
I was like a lot of kids, I guess. I grew up playing sports, so I always envisioned myself as playing some sort of professional sport, but teaching never really even was a consideration when I was young. I was not, like I said, I wasn't a fantastic student, so being in school, any extra time that I needed to was not really an option.
I did not want to be a teacher as a kid. I wanted to be an astronaut because space is cool. So there.
Before I became a teacher, my first job was actually in college. I refused to work with food and fast food because I'm not that good of a cook, and also I'd be grossed out if I saw how food was really made there, and I would never eat there. So I decided that I would have my first job at college, and I was a tour guide. So I got to explain the history of the campus, what the buildings, when they were built, who they represented, donors and things like that to potential students, and I really enjoyed it because I like talking to people, I like hanging out, and there's nothing like cramming 20 people into an elevator at once just to get to the next floor.
My very first job was a paper boy. I had a paper route. That was my very first job. Hated it. I have worked at a grocery store, bagging groceries, stocking shelves. I did that a lot through high school. I worked at the sunglass hut in the mall in college to make a little extra money.
Teaching's all I've ever done. I graduated from college in 1995, so wow, it's almost been 20 years, but it's all I've ever done and it's all I've ever wanted to do. If I had to give it up, I wouldn't know where to go. It would be kind of scary.
Have you ever had any other
We can edit all this, right?
Yeah.